Well, good evening, beautiful people, and handsome co-host.
Who? Me?
Of all people, yeah. Surprising, I know.
Whoa. Whoa. That is a big compliment on Thursday evening. How are you, pal?
Ain't too shabby. I mean, as far as I know, I'm healthy and happy, and the weekend's coming, so can't
Yeah, man.
complain.
Nope, that is a trifecta right there. I agree with you. Rachel says starting early, not even 10 after.
Uh-oh. My apologies, y'all.
Nope. We
Should we
did
end the stream and restart it?
no. We did well tonight.
Hey, by the way, I'm seeing in the chat hashtag Easter. Exactly. Happy holiday to everyone. Good Friday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Happy Easter. Hopefully, hey, if you have time, swing by church on Sunday morning. Go to a church service.
Yeah, I hope everybody gets a chance to celebrate in whatever way is important to them and their family and friends, and enjoys a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And before we get too far, we do got someone backstage. Let's not bring him up.
We do.
The star of the show.
What? She's here.
The star. Can you hear us okay?
Oh no, we can't hear her though.
No audio. Can't hear you. Um, Stand by for,
Yep.
electrical difficulties.
Yep. She'll fix it.
Yeah. Um, Backstage, we're talking about Easter eggs and chocolate and the bunny and the chick marshmallow ones, you know.
We were talking a little bit about that side of Easter and kind of some of our favorites. And she's pointing down. Oh,
Yeah,
she's gonna go down and come
I see
back.
it.
Okay.
No, she wanted to private chat.
Oh, got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Yep. Got it. Yeah. So we were talking a little bit about that, and I think you and I both have in common that our one of our favorites is the Cadbury cream eggs,
Mm-hmm.
and I shared though that I had changed my eating habits quite a bit to watch after my health, and it's working. So I stay away from that kind of stuff, even though earlier years that certainly was one of my favorite things for sure.
Right, right. Yeah. Um, have you tried any other holiday stuff like food or drinks, Easter related?
Specific to East, I mean, I don't think this is what you mean, but I certainly have had ham on Easter.
Actually, that's not about. Um, since you mentioned it, I didn't notice my grocery store was having the ham and some other meats on sale for the
Yeah,
holiday.
yeah.
So
Yeah. So that
it
was
makes
always a
sense.
common thing, like growing up, was like an Easter ham or something.
And she's back. Hopefully, she can hear us. Hopefully, we can see each other. Hopefully, yeah. She has her mic still isn't working for some
She
reason.
hears us. We do not
Yeah.
hear her. That's all.
Hey, I'm glad she's here.
Yep,
That is a step forward. Yeah.
that is true. Yeah, Rachel says
Hey.
I think ham is pretty traditional for Easter. Yeah, I think growing up
Okay.
that was a really common thing. So, but when you asked that question, what else did you have in mind?
I'm drinking a pink smoothie.
That's an Easter smoothie,
Uh, kinda. It's
kind of.
kind of like a blend. It's
Oh,
a mango, pineapple, banana, passion fruit
mm-hmm.
twist to it. So
Wow, very tropical.
yeah,
That's more
I
like
mean,
spring break, their vibes, than it is
I
Easter.
know, I know.
There's
But
nothing
hey,
wrong with it. It is
the
appropriate for spring break time.
store had it on sale. I figured, hey, man, Come on.
They were influencing you to enjoy
Exactly.
like you were on spring break.
Right. I know,
Hmm.
Stan. I know. I agree 1000%, Stan.
I mean, there's only so much we can do, right, Vibes?
I know. Rachel says she has deviled eggs every Easter too.
Oh, interesting.
Nice.
Okay. Dean says it sounds like Skittles in a smoothie. Yes, it kind of does.
I like it.
Yes, yes, it does. So,
And Mariah said, "Ain't it funny that eggnog isn't an Easter drink?" Low. Right. That, it makes sense. Eggnog should be an Easter drink. You know, the
why
Easter bunny. You
are
know, the
you
eggs.
lobbying that eggnog should just be? Well, she's right in the fact that it's eggs, and we talk about Easter eggs. But
Mm-hmm.
I think if you had your way, it would be every holiday's
Oh yeah.
signature drink.
And then even in between the holidays too.
I know, right? Yeah, anytime you can find it, you are not opposed. Oh,
Eggnog should be year round. Amen, Mariah. Sorry, if chat can't see her comments, sorry, but I will read them off. How about that?
Rachel
If
says that
yeah,
her deviled eggs are usually funny colors from being dyed.
I can see that.
Sticking with the theme. I like it.
Yeah, but I don't want to forget the first person in the chat.
Who was that?
Wait,
Sam?
Sam. First,
Wow.
is Sam still here?
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't blame him. If he just come look at me and TJ, I don't blame him for leaving.
Speak
I
for
mean, now
yourself. What?
just myself, yeah. But
Yeah, what are you talking about? What are you
anyways,
talking about?
uh, so okay. So tonight's topic, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Star of the show is the one that brought it up,
Yeah, Mariah
and
did come up with this one.
yeah. So since she can't talk to us, we'll have to kind of hopefully it goes the way that she wants it to go.
Yeah, we're gonna have to yeah, we're gonna have to make up the difference here because yeah, we know that
I'm not even try.
well, I'm gonna give it a shot, but I know we won't make it. So it won't quite be the same without her, but we're gonna
Right.
do what we can. Yeah, Tom Aldishon just put in the chat. Yep,
Yeah.
what I talked about this past just before the show backstage that and he knew him much more than I did, as did Dr. Ted if he shows up and many others. But the North Jersey Aquarium Society, which is a club that I'm a member of, Tom's a member of. Dr. Ted's a member of, but even more than that, the fish keeping hobby as a whole lost a pretty incredible member this week. Dr. Paul Loisel passed away.
Hmm.
He was a regular contributor to magazines like Amazonas. Did a lot of publication. He was an ichthyologist, so PhD studying fish. He was a conservationist. He was involved in the CARES organization that comes up with the
Hmm.
CARES list. He had, I think it's a couple of fish that were named after him at one point. He was considered one of the experts of fish from Madagascar. And I'm personally saddened because he was also the person that I got my original group of white clouds from. And you guys know how special those fish are to me, and how I'm one of probably a small group of people who are working with those fish to try and
Hmm.
and keep them from going kind of extinct from the world for forever. And when you're doing something like that, it's a lonely journey sometimes. And
Right.
with his passing, it's even a little more lonely at this point.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we remember Dr. Paul Loisel tonight, and may he rest in peace.
Amen. Thanks for bringing that up. Um, I, I saw it on Facebook about it, but I kind of forgot about it. But I'm glad you brought it up because I wouldn't have remembered.
Yeah, there's lots of people that were making posts and tributes
Hmm.
to him, so he had
Yeah,
a wide-ranging impact.
right. Yeah, and hopefully Mariah can at least listen in tonight, most of it. If not, it's okay. So,
And I'm just
and in a
scrolling up.
bit, I do want to go to just participant list after a while, but let's give it a little bit of time. Let more people join, then we'll do the participant list. So, by the way, I was wondering if anyone else noticed the picture I used for the live stream tonight, thumbnail or whatever. Uh, TJ didn't think that was funny.
I did think it was funny. I just wasn't quite smart enough to get it until you explained it to me.
I mean, I'm thinking about the topic and all. I was like, you know what? Why not?
Oh, no, I think it's brilliant. I just didn't catch on to it until you explained it to me. That's a me problem, not a you problem.
Okay, all right. Rachel saw the picture, but why? Why did I choose that picture?
Oh, Kyle says vibes, your thumbnails are iconic.
Is in a good way or in a bad way?
I can only imagine in a good way.
Oops, hold on, yo.
It was Mariah texting us.
Yeah.
So it was a picture with boots in it. And so it's because we're talking about tank reboots tonight. So our man Vibes here was doing a little play on words.
Exactly. I mean, why wouldn't I do that? Especially since being in Texas, uh, boots are kind of the thing, you know. So
It
why
makes
wouldn't I
total
do
sense
that?
to me. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. You
So
are correct.
I was hoping someone would come in the chat and say it right off the bat what it was all about, but that's okay.
No, you're way too smart
Yeah.
for me anyways.
You know,
Reboot. Kyle got it.
I was thinking about it. Maybe in the future,
Mm-hmm.
if someone can say the reason why a picture was put there, etc., maybe there'd be like a giveaway or they win a prize. For guessing the
Oh,
reason why the picture for the or
wait,
whatever. Yeah,
is this a guarantee now?
I kind of think it is.
Ooh, we are throwing down big tonight. So
Yeah.
this is now going to be a regular thing. If someone guesses
Hmm.
why
Before
the thumbnail
one of us slipped up. Yeah.
before we tell them,
Right. Yep.
then here we go. We're gonna do a giveaway on the spot.
Hmm. Yep.
I like it. And
Oh,
question
dude. What?
question about that. Does that
Yeah. Go
person
ahead.
automatically win the giveaway or does that trigger the giveaway?
How hard? How hard should we make it for everybody? Would that be a fair to the person that guessed it right off the bat?
Would it be fair? I mean,
Oh,
sure. I mean, they've got just as much a chance as anybody else.
true, true, true. Huh. I, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
The person he guesses it right automatically wins a prize.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
talking
that means
about.
We need to start
stuff.
amassing some prizes here, Vibes.
Well, I got I got a box of stuff I can give as prizes.
You have a
I
box of
just have no
treasure?
giveaways. What are we guessing?
Nothing
The
today.
thumbnail.
Yeah, so today was a thumbnail, but every week it'll be we'll have you guess the thumbnail, and that'll trigger a giveaway.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna guarantee 100% that every time the person guesses it right gets a prize. It'd be either the person gets it right, or we might spin it up and do a giveaway for
Oh, so you're
everyone.
gonna mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
So make it fun for everyone. That because otherwise, I mean, there's what 33 people here in the chat in the watching.
Mm-hmm.
That's if only one person, it might be too hard of a achievement for everyone to reach that.
Okay.
So, but throwing giveaways,
Mm-hmm.
everyone has a chance now.
And it starts
Instead
next
of
week.
yep, so next week.
Okay. Very good. And Dean
Anyways,
says had a pond crash today. Not a happy man. Oh, Dean,
no,
um, that's terrible. Sorry to hear about that.
I'm sorry, bro. You missed the thumbnail.
That's okay. There wasn't a giveaway this week.
Nope.
It starts next week, so you didn't miss anything there.
Mm-hmm. It's okay, Rachel. But now y'all start paying attention now to them. Anyways, I do got a box of stuff I want to show you, some of y'all. Some of y'all already seen this stuff, but they just come in.
Well, that is really cool.
And these are actually stacked with Vibes Aquatics. You can
Wow.
see it.
Okay.
That way, it'd be hard for someone to copycat it. There's only a handful of these made, the big ones.
Yep.
But I do got a big box of the small ones.
Oh, the little guys. Cool.
And these are stamped with VA, Vibes Aquatics, VA, the initials
Yep.
on the
Yep.
tail.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got a box of keychains.
Whoa. Okay. Cool. Cool.
So these might be some of the prizes. But anyways, for those that are wondering about these, to get one of these for free, you gotta meet me in person, and you gotta be a member of the channel. For those that aren't members, I'll have stickers available, but I'm thinking these might be for like 2-year memberships, but there's only a handful of big ones. This is bigger than my hand, y'all.
So that's a pretty cool idea, Vibes, right? So that's like a different level of gift for longer time members, kind of like some of the other
Yes,
channels
yes,
would do. Yeah. Okay. I like
right.
that.
No,
Rachel says no oversized belt buckles yet. Maybe that's the 3 year
that might be a
member.
3-year, but those would be really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And for now, I want to leave it for either I'll do giveaways with these things,
Yep.
or you see me in person and you're a member, you get one.
Alishon wants a case of cottage cheese, he says.
Now, hey, I mean, we definitely talk about it, but that would be a case though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, could you imagine? Hey, how about a case of cottage cheese shaped as a Fantosa?
Huh.
How about that?
You mean the cardboard box would be the shape of the Frontosa?
Yeah, yeah.
Or the
No,
containers that the
the
cottage
tub,
cheese is in?
the tub that the cottage cheese is in. You open it up, and outside
Mhm.
looks like a Fantosa.
Can
The fin
your
on the top would be the
Yep.
lid.
Can your supplier that did these, do that for
Right,
you?
exactly.
There you go.
That'd be interesting. But yeah, hopefully that wasn't too big of an overload.
No, that's cool. I think those are really neat. Where did you do you mind sharing where you got them, or local
Yeah,
supplier, or
look, someone about 10 minutes from me, and
really?
this is his hobby.
And what is it? How is it made? It's all stamped stuff or
No, it's 3D.
3D printed?
Yeah,
Really neat. Okay.
and he's been doing it now for like over 4 years.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
he'll
that's
explain to
really
me
nice.
how he did these. He said it's an app. You go in there and basically playing with clay. You know, you model it to where you want
Okay.
and print it out.
Yep.
And it says it's very. I mean, it does take time and effort. It's not something that you just look your eye and it's done.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, then the printing takes a little while, right? To once
Hmm.
you set it up and
Oh
get it
yeah,
there. Yep.
yeah. Um,
Can you do different
now,
colors?
I mean, not like striped or anything like that.
No, I just asked because, like, your koozies are very popular in multiple shades. We all know Cheryl's
Yeah,
got pretty much the full set.
yeah.
So I just w
She makes everyone jealous. I know.
I just wondered if there was opportunity to make a full set of those guys.
Oh no, it might be in the future, but for now, since this is the first go around of
Mhm.
these guys, because you can see,
They're all the
um,
blue. Yep.
the actually the camera isn't showing justice, but the other colors in here, by the way. That one's on one side purple with the I want to say a black top. You can
Uh-huh.
see it striped,
Yeah. Okay. I see. Okay, I see it's a different color. Yep.
right? That one's like blue and black.
Yep.
Um, I, I,
Okay.
what I did, uh, he wanted my logo and he wanted a picture of my vibes, the Fantosa, and he
Mhm.
took the colors of the two, and he came up with these.
Got it.
So it's very channel,
Mhm.
enthused. It's not
Yep.
just some off color. It's like the lavender, and the
Yep.
camera isn't picking it up. It's too dark. No, and
Uh,
even the keychains the same way. They're
oh,
like purple, like a lavender back, like a blue front.
okay. Yep.
Yeah.
I see.
Let's see if you can see it better on the big guy. Nope, nope. The
No,
camera is
camera
not.
doesn't pick it up very well.
Now
Now
you
it
see
did.
a
I can see the purple
little
line.
bit lavender,
Yep.
but there's actually lines up to it that different colors.
Yeah,
But
the camera doesn't pick it up great, but
no.
it's neat. Nice details.
Hmm.
And in case you were curious, Cheryl says, "Hey, I like koozies."
I know, I know. Hey,
So,
FYI about that, y'all. My
yes.
supplier that does the
Mhm.
koozies, which most of y'all already know. My brother does them. Anyways, he's having his wife is having another kiddo, so they're kind of busy right now.
Oh, so what you're saying is production of koozies is temporarily on hold?
Yeah, I do have some more in a box, a few, but not enough just to throw them away. Or, not throw away. Give them away every live stream or in
Mm,
person.
but what you're saying is there is a chance that they could make a comeback.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Got it.
It's not
Good.
something that I get rid of, but maybe after the kiddo comes along, maybe.
Makes sense.
Hmm. So some of y'all maybe have been wondering about that. Stop hogging them, Cheryl. I know. Tell you what. All right.
I think it was rigged.
I mean, you're probably not wrong.
I don't know. Seems awful convenient.
You ain't
Awful
kidding.
convenient that she ended up with all of them.
Yeah. Pulled pork with sweet baby rays. Ooh.
Oh, that's what Sam's having for dinner? That sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Be right back. Got a tank on clean. Okay. But let's go back to the topic. I
Okay.
think I'm done with that for now.
Okay.
Tank reboot. I kind of like Rachel's comment earlier on. That was about 16 minutes ago. Until the tank and plug it back in. Soft reboot.
Is that what happens when you call the aquarium tech support line?
Probably.
Yeah.
Sir, have you gone to your aquarium? Have you unplugged it?
Why
Let it sit for
no?
about 2 minutes, and then plug it back in, and then see what
Oh.
happens.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me try that.
Okay.
Wow.
So, what happened? Is it working now? I mean, is it fix the problem?
No.
In that case, you'll have to call some other company. Um,
Oh no.
we
Level
only deal
two.
with the tech side of the ledger. So,
This is a level 2 tech support problem.
right. So,
Got it. Got it.
but while you're at it, would you mind leaving a review after the call?
Why, of course. That was perfect service. I'd be happy to.
It'd be a review of like 1 star.
Yeah, right. Yeah. This guy told me to unplug my aquarium and it would fix it. And it did not.
Right. Uh-huh. Would you recommend it to a friend?
No, I would not.
Would you ever go back to the tech support?
No, I would not.
So what you're saying is tech support should be closing the business doors permanently.
Sounds like it. Yeah, I think so.
We need accusers with TJ show on them.
Oh boy. No such
You know what,
thing.
Mike? That's not a bad idea.
Well, but there isn't a TJ show.
I know, but we can always change
Uh-huh.
that.
No, I don't know that we are.
I like his thinking.
Mike is a good guy, and he mentions here that the new great grandson is wearing him out at just 2 weeks of age.
Wow. But the
Congrats.
grandson's living it up though.
Mm-hmm. Congrats, Mike, to you and the whole family on that.
Yes. Everyone's having grapes for dinner.
Yeah, Dee Dee's having grapes for dinner. Christopher's having a different style of grapes for dinner.
I saw that. Very
I
funny.
like how Christopher thinks. I enjoy some liquid grapes every now and again myself.
I mean, who doesn't? It's the last 25 minutes before my lights turn off. 9 p.m. always makes me sad. Why?
When the lights turn off, because then you can't watch the fish anymore.
Oh. But you know what, though, Christopher?
Hmm.
You can take a flashlight or even a phone flashlight. Go to the aquarium. You can observe it after dark. It's amazing what your fish do.
Okay.
Or maybe give it 2 hours after the lights go off. Then go check your aquarium out with the flashlight. Some critters don't, especially the critters that you don't see regularly.
Mm-hmm.
After dark, you have a high chance of seeing them, like plecos, like a bumblebee catfish, even shrimp,
Sure.
some loaches. There's odds and ends like that. Stuff that normally would hide in your aquarium
Mm-hmm.
after dark. I've even seen it in my aquarium. Like, what? I didn't realize he was still alive yet.
No,
Sure
yeah,
enough,
that's
there it
something
was.
that you don't usually see. Dee Dee says Tanks After Dark could be a live stream name.
Yes,
Yes, it
yes.
could be. And Nancy B is here. She said Rachel does
Nancy.
know her boots, reboots, cats, and recats.
I like it. I like it. Play on words. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what is a tech reboot?
Yeah. So we do have the benefit of the fact that we had talked about this within the last couple of weeks. And it came up because Mariah wants to do a reboot or a reset of her aquarium and kind of start things over. And so, that's kind of the concept, right? So for one of many different reasons, you are looking to start the aquarium over. And so again, you could call it a reset. We're calling it a reboot, but it's just a way to start things largely from scratch. But in the research I did, that's also kind of one of the considerations. So I think we'll get into a little bit of the different reasons and things that you need to think about as far as doing a reboot or a reset on an aquarium based on the reason behind it.
Right, right. And but are reboots a fix all problem?
Are they a fix all problem? Well, I don't know that there's probably a fix all of anything. I think there's measures that you can take. I think there's measures that you can take to fix various problems, but there's also no guarantee that that's going to work to fix the problem. So I
Right.
don't know that I consider anything to be a cure
Mhm.
all or a fix all. I think, um, I think it's a pretty extreme solution to a potential problem, or you don't even have to do it for a problem, right? Some of the reading that I was doing just talked about doing it even just for aesthetic reasons. You may want to
Right,
change
right.
escape up or change your substrate out, or do something different that way. So it may not be just a problem. It may be something you want to do to improve the look or the functionality or something like that.
So is every reboot a full reboot, or is it? Are there sometimes that you just need to do like a soft one, like now of course not like the plug and unplug thing, but it doesn't affect the filtration or the bacteria of the system.
Yeah, so I no, I think there are varying kind of gradients of resets or reboots that you can do. And that's part of the decision is how much are you looking to take it kind of back to the beginning? Are you looking to go all the way back to the beginning to like what it was before you had anything in it, right? It was just the bare tank
Right,
that you brought home from wherever it was that you purchased it. Are you looking to go all the way back to that or somewhere in between? And I think there kind of merits to both. Rachel just put in the chat here. Sometimes people refresh the substrate, not necessarily a full overhaul. Yeah, absolutely.
hmm,
And there can be many reasons for that. You can just decide you don't like the substrate you had it in there anymore. You want to change it up. You want to go from gravel to sand, or you bought the coated gravels that are colored and you want to go to a natural gravel. You want to go to no substrate. You want to go to like a bare
right.
bottom. Absolutely.
But
Those are
is Batten here though? No.
Branton was here, but he's doing fish
Oh,
stuff. So he
oh,
said
right. He
he's
stepped out. Yeah.
clerking. But I'm
Is it,
representing him and me. I have bare bottom aquariums, not all of them,
okay.
but I have bare bottom aquariums as well.
Mhm.
So
Actually, since you mentioned that,
yeah,
I
you do
did
too, yeah.
got. I got to hold on. I got Is it one now? I only have one left now. Big bottom.
Yep.
I'm putting them all either to downsizing or to have a nice aquascape. You know,
Hmm. So
so
I have two that
nice,
have no substrate. And yeah, I mean, they're one of them is where I keep the adult white clouds, and the other one is where I keep my group of gold laser quarries.
nice,
Yeah, Brandon's still here listening. He said he was going to
nice.
be lurking. He just had some things to do.
But you know what, yo, we're already 35 minutes in, and we haven't done the participant list yet. Let's go ahead and do that. For those that have come in and feel like that we didn't see them, well, now we do. There's 28 participants according to the Fish Farm link. Way Away, Just One More Fish, Uncle Smiley's Aquariums, Empire of Dirt Aquatics, Jeff Kane, Didi Fenden, Boots and Cats and Boots and Cats and Boots and Cats, Hobbit Town, Chili and Coy Dean, Boogie Biff, Boogie Bish Fish, Sky Fish Freak, Xanadu, Price Tag Joe, Dennis Christensen, Christopher Junkin, Outside Aquatics, Showa Smith, Redneck Aquatics, Dan Pittman, Fisherman Link, Alshon, Foxy Fishies, Jordy P, Flipper, Barbecue, Gills to Grills, Leslie Cat Fish Keeper, Brent Lightcap, The Koi Pit, David's Aquatics, MNC, Nazi B, Seville Steve, Steven P, and Jim Fish. Wow.
Good crowd like always. Vibes. Good crowd like always.
Yeah. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming
Absolutely.
out and hanging out with this every Thursday.
Yep. Yep. They're part of what makes this a fun time.
Yes, yes. I mean, we could have a great time either way, but
Hmm.
you know what? The input, I mean, it's phenomenal.
Yep. Yep. It absolutely is. And
So welcome
Vinox,
in
you
everyone.
Vinoski?
Oh,
I just see
sneaks in the back
Vinoski
door.
joined
Hey,
us.
Benoski.
Yep.
Good to see you. Yeah. Yep. They just come in. All right.
Yeah, so all sorts of reasons that you may want to do kind of a reboot and all types of reboots. One of the ones that's been on my mind, and I haven't noticed an issue yet, but at some point I will if I keep the tanks up in their current state long enough, is my African cichlid tanks that have the cichlid sand,
Mm-hmm.
which serves to buffer the water. And I think those things
Right.
tend to last for a very, very long time, but when you think about sort of the stability of the water and things like that, at some point they do end up degrading. And so
Yeah.
that would be a reason why I would go in there and I would make a change. So I would say that's similar but different to people who need to go into their planted aquariums and either change or add more aqua soils so that they
Right.
can replenish the nutrients.
Right. Right. So you mentioned African cichlids. So
Mhm.
to remove the substrate, or
Yep.
you do it all at one time, or you do it in batches.
So I've never done it, right? But I think if I was to do it, I would probably largely do it. I would probably end up doing it largely at one time. Um, but I'd want to sort of soften the fluctuation of the water. So I would
Yes.
probably try and keep some of the water that was in the aquarium so
Mm-hmm.
that when I put some back, it sort of slowly it rises more slowly than than if I than if I had started kind of all over
Right.
again.
Um, it depends on your system, your
Mhm.
aquarium. If you have now, if you have a sump, would might make it easier. So
Oh, yeah.
whatever soil you want to put in your aquarium, go ahead and put it in a mesh bag. If you have a
Mhm.
sump, So if you have room in the sump, go ahead and throw all those bags into your sump.
Yep.
And leave in there a month or whatever. And then go ahead and totally have new sump, change the sand out or whatever, gravel, etc.
Yep.
And now you still want to monitor your tank after you do that, because that's
Mhm.
still you're messing with the bacteria when you do a reboot.
Yeah, so that was interesting because in some of the reading I was doing, I also looked up sort of what are the sort of pitfalls to watch out for, and that was one of them was, and it again, I think it is it's a choice that you have to make. Like if you're truly doing a full on reboot, like fish are gone, you're starting over, you're going really truly back to square one, it doesn't much matter as long as you're okay with the fact that you've got to sort of recycle.
Right,
Different from I've got the fish, I'm just changing something, maybe I've had a disease and I'm just trying to make sure that it's really gone, but I don't want to start the whole thing all over again. Um, in that case, yeah, you've got to be really kind of careful to preserve some of it.
right.
Although in a
It's
disease situation, I would assume you'd want to start. Is that where you were thinking? You'd probably want to start all the way over,
right.
right? And have to rely on maybe a seeded sponge filter from another aquarium or something like that to kind of build you back up.
Yeah, I've actually done a reboot in the past, not because of a disease or anything like that,
Yeah.
but it was just too much allergy, too much mom. It's just too much going on.
Okay. So tell
Now,
me about that.
basically, what I did, I did a home reboot.
Hmm.
I pulled the substrate out, the plants, everything, throw it back to square one.
Okay.
Um,
Like it was a
now,
dry tank that you brought home from Petco.
exactly, but
Yep.
it had residue inside, so I took it
Okay.
out. Now, some people probably would have said bleach it out. Put bleach
Hmm.
in there, make sure it's killed. All I did was a vinegar and peroxide bath.
Oh, that was actually what some of the research I found
Mhm.
recommended was that it started with just like regular water,
Right.
and then it said you can use also you can use a vinegar solution as well. So
Yeah. The vinegar, I I known that because I was in the saltwater side. That's popular. These vinegar, clean your stuff, whatever. So
okay.
I use on my aquariums whenever any of my stuff that I don't want to clean, and
Hmm.
it doesn't clean just with water.
Yep.
I use vinegar, and that usually fixes it. Or soak it, in vinegar solution with water, whatever.
Hmm.
Um, the peroxide kind of kills any of the any bacteria to a certain point.
Well, and
Now,
that goes after like algae and that kind of stuff too, right?
exactly. So, and then like you mentioned, what I did, I yeah, even though I did a reboot, I did not start from scratch because I pulled a seeded media from another tank.
Hmm.
Just because, okay, that aquarium got rebooted. It just got rebooted, then started up. I pulled from another tank
Yep.
to get it going. And
Yeah.
the fish, in the meantime, there was a little fish in there, right?
Hmm.
No, I not leave the fish in the aquarium while I was cleaning it. No,
Yep.
I, hey, I threw them into a not threw them. I placed them into a trash can, not
You
the one that
loving
you go out to the
lovingly
dumpster.
placed them into a trash can?
Yeah, for disposal. No, and okay, Lowe's, Home Depot, etc.
Yep.
has the blue trash cans,
Yeah. Hmm.
which are awesome. People use them in the saltwater world to
Yes.
mix the salt.
That's what keeps me away from saltwater.
Because the ugly,
Well,
disgusting looking.
I've talked about it before. I
Yeah,
don't
I
have
know.
to place to keep it really nice.
Right. Anyways, so I use those a lot for either quarantine purposes or when I want to do a reboot on an
Mm-hmm.
aquarium. I
Mm-hmm.
put the whatever fish or whatever livestock is in the tank, and I want to keep.
Mm-hmm.
I throw them in there with a seeded sponge or media from another tank, and do it kind of like a hospital tank, yes. It's
Mm-hmm.
not quarantine, but to hold them while I'm doing the reboot on the aquarium.
Yeah, you could use a tote. You could use the
Right.
brute garbage can, like you said. You could use another aquarium. Pretty
You
much
can use a bucket.
anything. You can use a bucket. Yep.
Depends on the fish species, the size.
Yep. Yeah. Jake said, "So is a true reboot if you're not starting with fresh? If you're is it so is it a true reboot? Yeah, I think it can be a reboot, but it's different. We talked a little bit earlier about it being different levels of a reboot,
Right.
right? And
Like the different stages of reboot.
exactly, exactly, and largely driven based on the purpose of what you're trying to
Right.
do.
Right. That's the main goal. Now, I'm trying to think if I ever had an aquarium that I wanted to literally start fresh again. Not really, because I guess most of my aquariums I can always pull media from that I'm not worried about pulling the bad.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but hey, remember, some people might have one aquarium. So in that case, go ahead and do a reboot, but yeah, it means you gotta cycle the system again.
Right. Right. And so that kind of goes into the idea of the purpose. Because you can do, and there's many people that we've had here in chat that have talked about doing fish in cycles. That is an
Yes.
absolute choice you can make. You just got to stay on top of it because those things
Hmm.
can get out of hand if you aren't staying on top of it, and the bacteria doesn't end up populating as quickly as you need it to. If it's a heavily stocked aquarium or something like that,
Hmm.
it's going to make it a little bit more of a challenge, but it can definitely be done, I think, from a
Right.
beginner, or even I would say from where I feel like I am as a fish keeper. I feel like the fish in cycles they're a little shaky.
Yeah, they are.
Right? And so I would always prefer to do it in a way where I had some extra media or a cycled sponge filter or
Right.
something like that that I could rely on so that I don't hopefully have unintended consequences.
Right. Now, in in, in, in this day and age, 2025,
Mhm.
we have products available to us, or most of us do,
Yep.
that will aid in a fishing and cycle system, and
Mhm.
they work very well. If you don't mind spending the extra money and doing it, you, for instance, you got Seacom, you got Fritz, both of the good brands. I mean, you
Mhm.
got other ones too. The ones that come to mind that I've actually used myself.
Mhm.
Um, and you can do it, no problem to the fish, but you got fish in cycle while you're doing it, and
Mhm.
there ain't no harm to it. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so I think there are definitely some ways to improve your level of success with that. If you
yes.
if you are the person that's listening to this that you have only one aquarium, there are ways to make it happen. There's lots of videos out there, I think, of people who have done things like this that you can go and see what worked for them. Again, from my level of comfort, I've always struggled a little bit with that.
Mm-hmm.
I've only used the bottled bacteria types of products maybe once.
Like
I think it
a
worked.
turbo start.
No, it was before Turbo Start, I think, was a
Okay.
thing, Vibes. It was really early on. It was the Fritz Zyme 7
Back in the 1800s.
back in the 1800s, right? Right when
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
was,
yeah.
yeah,
I
a,
hear
a,
ya.
a young lad.
Well, how old are you by now?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Hey, welcome in, Fish Dreams, and We got Josie and HHD.
Yeah,
Jake.
we got Jose, the joy of fish keeping, fish
He brings
dreams.
the
Yep.
joy. He brings
What's
the
that?
joy. Oh, Jose brings the joy.
Brings the joy. Absolutely. That's good. Fish dreams got timers on most of their lights today. Awesome.
Woo!
Cool. Fish dreams.
That
What timers did you go with? Are you using like the Wi-Fi timers, or do you like kind of the more traditional mechanical timers? I'm just
the
curious.
analog where you have a dial and these little
Yeah.
buttons you turn it. Those
Hey,
were
listen.
phenomenal.
I have used them before. I have switched at this point to the Casa Wi-Fi timers for the tanks that
And,
don't have their own light timers. But before that, I had no issues with the
right.
dial timers.
Yeah. Since you mentioned it, I just in the past month I
Hmm.
got the smart timers.
You did.
I did.
Life
Uh,
changing,
uh,
or
what?
was it life changing, or
Uh, I'm I'm still getting to know how to use them. But
okay?
I only got it on right now. I only have them on one aquarium right now. I'm testing it out. But all the other ones are still the original analog style ones.
Yeah, they work just fine, right?
Yeah,
They're easy, no big deal. They're pretty simple to use, so no shame in those at all.
right. The reason I'm trying to change over that way when there's a time change, I don't have to go in the change them all.
Yeah, you're right. Yep,
That's
because it
a pain.
automatically adjusts.
Or if there's a power outage, I don't have to go back and
Yep.
moving forward or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause that's the one thing is if there's a power outage for a little while, they're just gonna sit where they were, and then you got to go
Right.
back, right? Yeah.
And eventually, instead of lights going on at 6 in the morning, now they're going on at 8 in the morning. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yep.
And then they're going off at 1 in the morning versus at midnight. Or, that's a pain.
Yep.
So with the Wi Fi ones, you just go in there, it's back to on schedule.
Yep. Yep. Jake says they use the GoV smart plugs.
And are they pretty good, Jake?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not familiar with them, but
Govee, that's a pretty big company. They have smart timers. They got lights of all sorts.
hmm
There's other components as well. Light bulbs that the brand has.
yep.
Uh,
Okay.
which I've been debating about going that route, but I want to hear someone else that has used them successfully.
And Jose says that he loves the Casa Wi-Fi timers, and he's working with them right now. I think he's installing some right now. Um, Jake says they work sweet. Okay, that's good. And Kyle says that he uses the Govee as well. So that's a second
Okay,
endorsement for the Govies.
so maybe I look into them again. I went and got. I had to try it out. So on Amazon and whatever was highest rating is one I got.
Makes sense.
So and these are the square ones. I don't know. There's different styles out there. But
It's the square plugs. Yep.
square,
Yep.
rectangle shaped, whatever.
Rectangular. Mm-hmm.
That way,
Yeah,
you
I
can put
think.
two in the same outlet.
Ah, I see. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Because a lot of I only done a little bit of research. A lot of them they're saying you can't put two in the same outlet. Now, is that an issue? Probably not. You can just have a power strip or adapter. Not an issue. But
Yeah. Jorge says analog ones don't break. Yeah, I've never had that happen. Although, in fairness, I've never had any of my Wi-Fi, my Casa timers break either. I'm sure they
analog,
do, but
it depends. Um, who's because I've had one that I still have it. I need to toss it. It's an analog one. It don't keep the schedule. It's weird.
oh, interesting. It like
Yeah,
it goes off time like an old watch.
right, right. It's like it needs
Uh,
rewound again. You know what I mean? It's weird.
yep. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't use it even. I got a backup, but why? I need to get rid of it.
Huh. Interesting. Jake says one app to rule them all. Anything Govy. You can divide things into rooms. Well, that's interesting because you said they're a big company. They've got like light bulbs and stuff like that.
Right,
So, okay. So you have one app and you can put them all
right,
through
and you
the
do it.
same.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now since you mentioned it,
Yep.
now I see what I'm using. AI dot. Does that ring a bell?
No.
That's the app I'm using for these plugs that I got. That- That's all. I mean, I'm not a techie person, y'all. So don't. And Gobi is very affordable. Okay.
Okay. And Kyle asked Jorge if he can turn his tanks off from another state. And I actually have real life situations where, so when I'm raising baby fish, I've got to do multiple feedings a day. And that oftentimes
Right.
means in the winter, feeding them early in the morning before I leave for the office.
Mm-hmm.
And so I turn the lights on in the morning for a little while, let them wake up, feed them. And I have had situations where I've gotten to the office and forgotten to turn off the aquariums. And because of the app, I can turn it off so it doesn't stay on all day and just waste electricity and potentially grow algae if I did that a number of times in a week, which may or may not have happened, and
Mm-hmm. Right.
right, that kind
Right.
of thing.
My light built-in timer go off schedule. It's really annoying. Yeah.
My Fluval, when the time changes, I have to reconnect it to the phone so that it picks up the right time.
Right. That's an interesting point. I'm trying to think if mine went off schedule. I don't remember. I guess I got a Fluval app on my phone. The one the Day had set up behind the camera.
Mm-hmm.
That one has a Fluval light on it. That I got free a while back.
Uh-huh.
It came with the setup. So, and I was just trying it out. I mean, I do like the lighting, the color ratio of the light versus
Yeah.
the cheap shop lights or the higher lights.
Yeah, they have a different tone, like
Right.
a color temperature.
Mm-hmm. But then again, you can go in and control it, you know, to what the young liking, But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Christopher says he can control his Orphec lights online. Kyle says Wi-Fi switch paired with a security camera equals mental freedom on vacation. Okay.
Yes, yes. Which, hey, Kyle, is there a certain camera that you recommend?
Good question.
Because
Rachel says,
I've been doing research about it and see what's out there.
"Oh, have you? You're thinking about doing some stuff around the house?"
Right, so some cameras on the aquariums. That way,
Okay.
like Kyle said, on vacation you can just look at your phone,
Yep.
get it's all good. That because I got a buddy here local to me, right? Which something bad goes, I could call him. Hey, bro, my one aquarium's weird. The power's off. You mind going on and checking it?
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. I think we lost vibes here, guys. So we're just going to keep on going, and he will hopefully join us here in a second. Let's see. Rachel says, I never needed to turn lights on or off while away from home. Yeah, I mean, that's an operator error issue more than anything. Well, there you are.
Well, that was a live stream reboot, y'all.
Is that I wondered if you hit some sort of button.
I think I did.
Okay. That's all
Um,
right.
on this new fancy mouse I got, it has
Uh-huh.
buttons on the side. I think I
Yep.
bumped the one.
I was just defaulting to reading some comments in chat.
Uh, I thought you were saying you're reporting just getting out of here, huh?
No, 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 no. I was keeping the show going until you showed back up.
So yeah, I'm not. Maybe I need to get rid of this mouse and go back to my old style. See, it has two buttons on the side.
Oh, and you hit one of those buggers, didn't you?
Yeah, and one of those sent me out of here. So
Christopher
I just need
says
to be
that he was
careful.
watching a video from Happy Basin Boas. She's got 70 Fluval lights and complaining about daylight savings time, having to go through each individual light to correct them. Yeah.
Well, that could be
And
a
then,
problem.
yeah, that's a lot. And then Kyle recommends Blink cameras.
Okay, I've heard of them.
Not Kyle, sorry, Branton recommends
But
Blink cameras. I think Kyle
I'm
was
gonna put
talking
that.
about it, but Branton came in with the recommendation.
But do those can what? It'd be cool if I go down the Govee route. I want all everything to be Govee. You know what I'm saying? Or be able to
Yeah.
connect with that way one app for everything, which makes sense. Not having 1,000 apps for this and for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
What would be a good, easy plant light or lights for 125 gallon? Go to your local hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot, and get a shop light, the LED shop light, to make sure it has. If you want strong plant light, go with a 60 um, cow. But
And I'm gonna give a different answer,
go ahead.
which will surprise no one. I do like the Fluval lights.
Mm-hmm.
I think for a 125. So on my 40 breeder, I've got the Fluval Aqua Sky, which is they're less powerful, more of an entry level light.
Right,
I think for something the size of a 125, I probably would go with the planted 3.0. Um, I think
that'd be a
that's
good choice.
probably right. I think that's probably a good choice. I think there's a lot of factors to that, though, right? So I would welcome my friend Steven, if he's still around, to comment because I know he has experimented with bigger tanks and potentially needing two lights in a setup like that, depending on how
Right,
you've got it set up. The reason I picked the Fluvalls is I just really like the app. I just think it's
right,
really easy to use. I think the lights, the quality has been really fine for me, and they're not crazy, crazy expensive. I do know there's other choices. Again, people can chime in with kind of their favorites. I think Christopher already said that he likes the Higer 957, and it comes in a 6-foot version. Um, Right. So I think there's
but
many
mhm.
choices, but I tend to stick with what I like, and I tend to like the Fluvalls. Not that I wouldn't maybe in the future try something else, but that's where I would look first, fish streams.
It also depends on what kind of plants you're growing in that aquarium.
Yep.
Is it are you doing the low light ones, high light, etc.? Because that will affect how much power do you want the light to give out. You know.
Yeah, and Steven gives exactly what I would hope. He gave some good caution words here to say if your plants are going well with the light setting you have, the best way to ruin that spectacular is to make the light brighter. Yes. So
Yes.
so that's yes. So that is great advice. So fish streams, if you do have low light, then I think you gotta factor that into it. Again, a 125 is a pretty deep tank, depending on the dimensions, right? So
Right.
that's the only reason that I look at it and say I don't know that an aqua sky would be good enough for what you've got, but if you say what you've got now, maybe there's people in here that are familiar with it that can kind of help you find something comparable.
Right. I mean, I, I wouldn't fault you if you went the higher route.
I actually have one, two, three hikers.
I got 5 higers.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I don't have anything wrong with a hiker whatsoever. The ones that I have are not the ones with the timers. So that's where yeah, so that's where I started with those, and they've been just fine. I ended up getting the Fluval when I needed a new light. and that's also been fine. So I'm not looking to change that up, but yeah, just dim them both as need. Yep. Okay.
But that means you need lights that are dimmable then.
Correct. Or I think it's Night Crew sells a dimmer dial.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I learned it from Steven on Wet Your Plants, where he talked a little bit about getting a dimmer for a light that isn't set up to do that.
Hmm.
So that is a choice.
Oh,
I have a high, I think Fish Dream's been a Higer on my 30 throwing, and I have a hard time adjusting it.
see,
Yeah.
that's one thing. If you're I'm adjusting it
Mm-hmm.
for myself, I, I either get another light or yeah, because it shouldn't be hard to adjust it. If it is, maybe it's time to get another change the problem.
Yeah, my Higers aren't adjustable. They are, but um, they're the ones that have the 24-hour mode, which basically turns to a
Yeah,
blue light at night, and you
right,
can't. It won't remember the settings if you ask it to turn off.
right.
So that's the problem. So they're on full blast unless I
Yep.
go every night and I hit the button and I turn them down. So
Yeah.
that is
No,
no good.
that's not going to happen. Yeah, I agree with you on that because um, most of my bigger tanks all had a higher light with that same switch, and I
Yeah.
got them on timers because of that. They
Yep.
turn on the sun's up.
Yeah. Yeah. So Rachel says the only thing I wish my lights could do is ramp up and down, but not in my budget and not end of the world. Yeah. All of the Higers that I have do not do ramp up, ramp
Right.
down. The Fluval obviously does. I do like it. Does it make a difference to the fish? I'm not exactly sure, right? I don't
Um,
know that I can see it, but aesthetically, it's quite nice. Like I think it looks
right.
nice
Yeah.
as a non-looker.
Right. Yeah. As on look, yeah, I agree. It does because yeah, I only have this fluid light that I've been using now. What 3 months maybe? I don't know. Um, and I do enjoy getting up in the morning and the light is just starting to turn on.
Uh huh.
It's the morning glow. Then of course
Yeah.
at noon it's a highlight. And then it fades off the rest of the day. It's kind of cool in that result. But you know what? They
Hmm.
come out with lights that you can. I guess maybe they do fluid uh, all in one app,
Multiple lights in one app. Yeah.
right? Okay.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, you can
so
do that.
that means you don't have to spend the money though. Do
You
that
do.
though. Go
You
that
do.
route.
Yeah, that is the downside. They're not super cheap.
Right.
Branton says the new Higer light that he just got ramps up and down. Yeah, so the Higers that I got, Branton, were quite early on when I started back into the hobby, and they were the kind of the bargain level, the least expensive variety.
Right.
And they didn't do that, but I think shortly after that they had started to release the ones with the internal timers and things like that. So they've clearly gotten much better over time, um, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Steven says I like the ramp up and down on my main display so I can run super long photo periods. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. The haggles I got, uh, I got them from Tiger at one of the shows.
Did you?
Um.
Yeah. I have no complaints with them. They're 5 years old or something like that at this point.
Okay.
Work
These
quite
are
well.
is it 2 years, 3 years now maybe? So I
Yeah.
mean, am I done using them? I don't know. I mean, I still have the other ones, the ones I used to have. But see,
Oh,
the older ones, they were all they were either Fluval or Aquion. I mean, they were all different brands.
sure.
There wasn't one brand.
No,
So
whatever you found that you wanted to try or whatever.
that I picked up on rescues, etc. You know,
Sure.
free ones. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, I might go back to the Fluval in the future. But who
Sure.
knows? I
Yeah, I
mean,
think there's lots of good choices, right? That's the
oh
good
yeah,
news.
you know, if you have one aquarium and you can afford it, go ahead and
Hmm.
spend a little extra and have a, you know, say a perfect light. We can go to the app and try to control it to the perfect whatever you want it to do. You know, do it. Yeah, makes sense. But if you want trying on a budget, no, don't. I would not. You can do it without it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think again there's lots of choices
Mhm.
and you have to decide sort of what is important to you. For me,
Right.
I like the simplicity of the app, although I will say that when I need a new one, I will be talking to Steven to talk about. He's got Chahiros and uh, what is it? Weak Aqua or something like that. I forget what the other
Okay.
name is, but those are two brands that he had mentioned to me at some point. So I think that I'll certainly consider other alternatives.
Right. The the blades are nice,
You have
but yeah,
one, right?
no, it's not a blade.
Not a blade, but it is an AI.
It is AI,
Yep.
but it's a saltwater world.
Oh, got it.
The
Okay.
blades are a freshwater.
The blades are all freshwater. Okay.
Yeah, and the trying to think, how old are they? The new ones. I think they're that old. I mean, maybe 5. I don't know. Is it 5 years? I don't know. But they've been out, and
Oh, okay.
they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey Ross. Hey, old
Mm.
fish people. Been looking while doing water changes. You want done, Ross?
Hey,
Hey, CC
Ross.
Aquas games. Recommend.
Yeah, Cece's here. Yeah.
But thanks to Fish Dreams for taking us down the road of aquarium lighting.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
It's a cool topic.
Yeah,
It's a
something
cool topic.
I wish I knew more about.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's so much to learn and so many different ways in which you can do the hobby and lighting different equipment is I think that is one of the interesting parts of the hobby is to see different ways that you can set your aquariums up and different equipment that you can use, or it's like the timers that we talked about and having
Right.
those make life a little easier for you. I think it's always good.
Cool. Yeah.
Chris
Hey, Christopher. Yeah, I saw your comment about fluval.
gets really a new light. Okay.
That means I need to talk it over with fluval and see what they got. Because wouldn't mind, you know. I mean, I wouldn't have to, but I wouldn't mind adding to my collection. You know.
Ah. Mm-hmm. Oh, Ross just loaded some stuff up on Aquabid under his screen name Aquatica 87, and we know from the Aquarius auctions that Skipper has been hosting the last
Hmm.
couple of years that Ross has some really beautiful fish. So if you're
Yeah,
looking
there
for
you go.
something,
So
go check
if
it
you
out.
can't, yeah, if you can't wait till auction times, get before the auction.
And if you're looking for something from a trusted source, we know Ross is a good member of the community,
Yes. Yeah,
and
a great
he'll
choice.
take yeah, and he'll take care of you.
We got 7 minutes until closing, y'all. Wow.
Wow, man, did that go fast? So I feel like we just kind of scratched the surface on the topic, which actually maybe that was appropriate because this really was
Right.
Mariah's
Topic.
Mariah's idea.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's something that we may all face for different reasons at different times, and just something that you need to really think about the purpose and decide how in depth of a reboot do you need to do, and make sure that if you're going fully reboot all the way back to the beginning, that you are making plans for how to deal with that. The reality of
Yes.
having to put the fish back into an aquarium that you have really just sort of stripped back all the way, is kind of my biggest piece of advice on that. And making sure that you accomplish whatever the goal is. If it's aquascaping, you want to change it up. That's kind of one thing. If it's you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
get rid of a serious algae issue or a disease, then you're going to have to be more invasive. And that could be everything from, just throwing away your substrate and starting new, or just rinsing it incredibly well,
Right.
using things like you talked about, the vinegar solution or peroxides. And, I think just think through how to minimize stress on your plants, on your fish, your other aquatic creatures, and kind of I'd advise having a plan before you do it. Sit
Yes.
down and think about the steps. Make sure you've got all the pieces of equipment and things you're going to need to make it happen. So yeah.
And if you do want to do a reboot on your tank aquarium, basically you want to escape it, etc., go ahead and you can totally empty the tank out, but keep the media and the substrate wet. And anything that you want to use in the new setup, put it in whatever till you got sitting around hoarding tank basically. Go ahead, aquascape it. Do what you want. We add the media and whatever you can from the set prior, we use it. That way, the cycle doesn't crash.
Yeah, that's a great tip, right? Anything you let dry out is basically done
Mm-hmm.
for at that point.
Right.
Not that you can't reuse it, but the bacteria after
Mm-hmm.
some time period isn't going to be there
Right.
anymore. So you do have to keep it wet for
Right.
the duration of the time that you're working in the aquarium.
And even the aquarium itself, on the glass, if it ain't filthy, don't scratch it off.
Yep.
Leave it where it is. And if possible, try to aquascape it and get water back in there as soon as possible.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, the thing that I wrote down is rinse versus wash. And it goes back to something we have talked about in prior podcasts, prior live streams a long time ago. The concept of how we would clean our home, for instance, different from how we would potentially clean an aquarium,
right.
right? And just being really thoughtful about that this isn't like a surgically clean environment that we're trying to create
Right.
necessarily. If we are trying to make sure that we maintain some of the microorganism kind of biological stuff that's in there that
Mm-hmm.
makes our aquariums the ecosystem that they are.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Now, if you have use medicine in your aquarium, etc.,
Hmm.
and you're trying to do a clean, I mean, you can try the carbon out first, carbon,
Hmm.
or it's the other one. It's a carbon, but it's a
Oh, like you've got aquachar,
aquachar. Yes,
right? You've got
that stuff is
purigen,
amazing.
right? You've got all sorts of different choices. Yeah, aquachar. I think Grant and Shelby swear by aquachar.
They do.
So
So I actually keep some of it on hand
yeah,
since yeah,
you never know when it could come in handy.
right. Clean your tank that changer, cleans the room.
Yeah. Words to Live by Jake.
Amen. Um, but a recap to those that missed it. Um, First thing and foremost, make sure you do your research. Dig, dig into what you're doing. Have patience, and don't do something on a spur of the moment kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think have a plan. Have a backup plan for when the plan fails,
Right.
right?
Anyway, I think Ed's going to live here in a bit.
He will be. It showed a 9:30 start, so we're
Right.
just about at our end time here.
So hashtag reboot.
Hashtag reboot. Excellent. So,
So send over.
yep. So, thanks to everybody for joining us again for another Thursday vibes. Thanks so much for hanging. You know, I always enjoy these Thursdays.
Hanging
Thanks to
out.
Mariah, even though she couldn't be here with us, which we're terribly sad when that happens, but we understand. But thank you for the inspiration of the topic. It was really fun to kind of toss it around a little bit. And hi to Dr. Ted.
Hey, hey, Ted, the legend. Hey, by the way, hey, Ted, since you're here, I got some encouragement. I got enthusiasm listening to your talk this past Monday night with What the Plants.
Yep.
He popped up with Fat Kitty and Stephen P.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
was a phenomenal. Hey, y'all, if you missed Stephen P's live stream this past Monday, and you're getting to ponds or summer
Mm-hmm.
tips, you gotta go watch it. It is phenomenal.
Yes, we're very lucky that he writes articles in our magazine for the local fish club and usually does a series this time of year talking about the things that he's doing here to start up his tubs throughout the early part of the season and things like that. So, yeah, absolutely. If you've got the opportunity, please go back, watch that replay. You will not be sorry. I also think that Kelly is also a great resource when it comes
Wow,
to
she's awesome.
ponds as well. So yeah, don't underestimate. Even if you don't do tubs, you're going to definitely learn something from all of
Yes,
those people that were on that. So you definitely check it out.
and you can't do that. Go to Amazon and buy the book,
Yes.
the handbook by Ted. It's awesome. Do it. Anyways, I don't want to do too much of a pushing a product
Yep.
pusher. So, but yeah, check it out. Before you head out, I do want to say a big thank you to TJ for joining me like every Thursday. One day out of the week, he actually sets aside just to hang out with Vibes. Wow.
Wouldn't miss it, pal. Wouldn't miss it. Thanks for a good chat tonight.
Well, thank you. Until later, y'all, have a good weekend and happy Easter, everyone.
Take care, guys.
Bye.